Hey guys, the Super Review Show for another episode of Why You Should Watch. This is the show where I recommend shows, movies, whatever you guys think. This is the show where I break down shows and movies that I think you guys should check out just to either have a binge watch with your friends or have a really good time with your buddies, whatever. This is the show where I do that. So, without further ado, let's talk about Arrow, the 2013-2012 show that lasted 8 seasons on the CW. And I'm a little sick, everyone, forgive me. Arrow. Arrow's one of these shows that the first 2 seasons are incredible. Oh my god, this show is awesome. The first 2 seasons were great. The third season was a little. They had some ups and downs afterwards, but the first 2 seasons are really good. I watched the whole show. Truthfully, I've been watching on Netflix or whatever, or HBO Max. I finished watching Arrow like not too long ago, and it ended well. I mean, am I like the biggest fan of Arrow? No. I mean, the first 2 seasons, like I said, were great. How he comes back from the island, he's like, oh my god, I'm going to take revenge on the city that caused trouble with me, whatever, right? Long story short, Arrow was the DC television universe. It's the setup for all these other shows that followed. Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, I forget if Batwoman's a part of it. Anyways, the CW shows, Supergirl, that they made that work. So, long story short, Arrow is a really good show. Arrow, it's funny. The DC television universe kind of started off really gritty and grounded with Arrow. And then once they introduced The Flash, once they introduced Supergirl, once they introduced these crisis events where like they're teaming up on TV to fight these bad guys, and the Legends of Tomorrow, like it kind of took a little bit of reality and turned it into fantasy in a sense. For me personally, I'm still a fan of the shows. I still like it. Batwoman is, but regardless though, these shows, Arrow was the start of all of it, and Flash was, another video is coming out, Flash too. But The Flash was a really good spinoff of Arrow, and it takes place in the same universe, how they interact. It's a lot of fun. If you're looking for a show that starts off gritty and has a lot of really good character development, it has some ups and downs throughout the show, but like some really good overall character development, and how like the Green Arrow does his job. And he starts, it's a brutal show. The CW was not afraid to show violence on TV. Not blood, but just violence. With Green Arrow, like, you have failed this city type of thing. It's really, really good stuff. Stephen Amell playing Green Arrow was perfect casting for that character. He was awesome as that character. I've been to Comic-Con numerous times, and Stephen Amell signed. I never got his autograph, but Stephen Amell was like, oh yeah, we're just going to, Stephen Amell, we were signing autographs, and it's funny, when Arrow was still on TV, everyone was watching the Arrow show so much, all the costumes at Comic-Con were all like the Green Arrow from the Arrow TV show. How many times can I say Arrow in a sentence, right? But Arrow was it's one of those shows where it's like, it starts off really gritty, and it gets sort of fantastical to some extent, like, I remember like the mid-season finale for season 3 was incredible with him and Ra's al Ghul. That's when I started to realize, why are we bringing a Batman villain into this? Why are we doing this or that? I get it, but like, why? I don't know. And then we're trying to like build up I guess they're trying to do more setup stuff. Like, but season 3, 4, it picked up. It went up and went down. It went up and went down. It remained consistent though for the most part. Like Diggle later, his partner in crime later became like this, his helper throughout most of his cases and whatnot. He became like one of the heroes of, their city. And it was a really good show. If you're looking for like, if you're not a comic book movie fan and you want to get into like really good TV shows that are really good TV shows, truthfully, that are like, what's the word? Really good TV shows that are incredibly well done and have a lot of grittiness to them, I think you should check out Arrow for those reasons and many more. It's a really good show. I mean, they delve into the history of Green Arrow. They do all these like backstories and all this other stuff going on. It's a really, really well done show. Like I said, after like season 3, like it took a little dip here and there, what's going on. But like overall, it's a really good show. Oliver Queen does get arrested at one point because he reveals that he's the Green Arrow, whatever. But it's a really good take on the character overall. And if you want to check out Arrow, I would recommend Arrow for you guys. But I'm still sick. That's why you guys should watch Arrow. But for all of you, listen. So if you like what we've seen here, subscribe to this YouTube channel. We do this all the time. Feel free to hit the bell, subscribe, like, whatever you got to do. But listen, those are some reasons why I think you should watch Arrow. It's a really good show, and they really, really did a good job setting up a lot of stuff for future DC TV shows on the CW and also on HBO Max too. So, but for all of your why you should watch videos, keep it locked on the Super Review Show. J-Man is off the rock. I'll see you guys later.